Every summer, Sam counted down the days until he could escape the bustling city and immerse himself in the tranquil world of his grandma's sprawling old house. It was a place filled with the scent of old books, creaky floorboards that whispered tales of the past, and a garden that was a riot of colors. Each corner of the house held a memory, a story waiting to be rediscovered, and Sam cherished every moment spent there. This particular summer, however, an undercurrent of unease began to creep into Sam's idyllic vacation. The house, which had always felt comforting, started to cast an eerie shadow. As the sun dipped below the horizon, strange creaks and murmurs seemed to echo through the old walls, and the once familiar corners of the house took on a sinister glow. The vibrant garden appeared to wither under the weight of an unseen presence, and even the cheerful chirping of birds seemed to fade into a haunting silence. Then came the night of the ghostly visitor. Sam was jolted awake by a chilling draft and the unmistakable sound of footsteps padding across his room. Fear, cold and clammy, enveloped him as he slowly opened his eyes. In the dim moonlight, a shadowy figure materialized at the foot of his bed. Its form was indistinct, but its presence was undeniable. A blood-curdling scream escaped Sam's lips as the figure lunged towards him. He felt a cold hand graze his arm, and his heart pounded in his chest like a drum. The next morning, he recounted the terrifying ordeal to his grandma. She listened with a mixture of concern and a strange familiarity. Her eyes, usually so warm and comforting, held a hint of sadness. Later that day, she shared a secret that had been kept hidden for generations. The house, it seemed, was haunted by the ghost of a young woman who had tragically lost her child within its walls. Her spirit, bound by grief, was said to wander the house, seeking solace and peace. The revelation sent shivers down Sam's spine, but it also stirred a deep empathy within him. Instead of being terrified, Sam felt a surge of empathy. He couldn't bear the thought of a lonely ghost trapped in a house full of memories. With his grandma's guidance, he learned an ancient chant said to soothe troubled spirits. The chant was simple yet profound, its words carrying the weight of centuries of tradition. Armed with courage and a touch of naivety, Sam confronted the ghost that night. As he stood in the center of his room, the shadows seemed to gather, and the temperature dropped. He could feel the presence of the ghost, its sorrow palpable in the air. As the shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, Sam began to chant, the room filled with the rhythmic cadence of his voice. And slowly, the figure seemed to waver and diminish. Hope replaced fear in Sam's heart as the specter finally faded into nothingness. The air seemed to lighten, and a sense of peace enveloped the room. Sam stood there for a moment, absorbing the silence, feeling a connection to the past that was both haunting and beautiful. The following days were filled with a sense of peace. The house, once filled with shadows, now seemed bathed in a warm, comforting light. Sam spent his days exploring the garden, listening to his grandma's stories and feeling a profound connection to the old house. Each story his grandma told seemed to weave the past and present together, creating a tapestry of memories that Sam would cherish forever. As his vacation drew to a close, Sam looked back at the summer with a mix of emotions. He had faced his fears, helped a troubled soul, and discovered a hidden strength within himself. And while he was excited to return home to his parents, a part of him would always yearn for the magic and mystery of his grandma's house. The old house, with its creaky floorboards and whispered tales, had become a part of him, and he knew he would carry its stories with him wherever he went. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking tales.